Welcome back to the Salem Phantoms franchise. It's the end of 2052. Last time out, we were able to win a game in the World Series, but unfortunately fell flat. The Tides were able to win the World Series championship 4-1. And from here, we're just going to assess our season here, what I'm looking to hopefully see the computer kind of tackle in the offseason, some things that we might need some improvements on in terms of the team, some of our expiring contracts as well. So we'll get a look here at the budget and some of our expiring contracts. I have no idea who Ronnie Wilga is. He did not play for the Salem Phantoms at all last season and still made $27.5 million doing so. We also have Lou Reyes, who is locked down for next year, $9.8 million. So he will at the very least be our rock for next season. Nearly had a Cy Young caliber season, a lot of wins, a low ERA, but not very many strikeouts, which the game tends to like. We have a lot of free agents from there, a couple guys with arbitration, but the team might look very, very different next season since, with a lot of like the CPU signings, they just kind of love cycling people in and out. There's a lot of people who might be like 38 years old who play for a year for one team and then go to another team the next year after that. So I guess the one definitive thing is that we'll see Lou Reyes either in the 1 or 2 spot for the rotation. Hopefully we don't lose too many of our starting pitchers where they bring this guy back up. As much as I want to get rid of him right now, I told myself I was going to have a hands-off approach for the offseason. So with that, here's what I'm looking to see the team get here. Our starting pitching was not bad this year. I mean, Cabrera kind of dropped off a little bit towards the end of the season, but we still had 4 really good starting pitchers, which is all you can really ask for. Maybe getting somebody who's a little bit more considered an ace. But Joe Johnson is getting there, Derek Newsome. I think we'll have another year of arbitration with him at the very least. So we'll see these 3 guys, I think. And then maybe if we can just add one more piece of the puzzle in starters, that would be great. Relief pitchers were some of the best in the league. We did have to call up a few left-handed throwers just to kind of even out the bullpen. Closing pitchers, we have a lot. Catcher's a big question mark. McBride is our go-to. He is a free agent, though. Won the Gold Glove, has some great power sometimes. Catcher is a hard commodity to find, though. So, they'll probably sign back McBride if I had a shot in the dark. But, we did have a lot of guys that were just kind of up and down the whole season with Rocker and Dalton. So maybe we'll have a new catcher next year to platoon with McBride or maybe replace McBride. Cervantes, thankfully, is in arbitration. Campillo is a free agent. And as much as I liked having his contact on the team, a DH could really be anything. Campillo, though, does not play anywhere else. So if we did get a DH that could play the field and has a little bit more secondary positions, that would really open some things up. I do wish we would keep Campillo, though. He was one of my best hitters. Second base, I will take literally anybody. Patrick William is in the arbitration phase. I did not like Navarro one bit. Third base, Cabrera is great at defense, but we need maybe a better hitting infielder that we can plug in anywhere. Shortstop, I really like Mercaldi for a time. McCall has been really great, but McCall is getting older is the only thing, and he is also a free agent. Corner outfielders, we could also use some work. Cordova is a free agent. Taylor is in arbitration, so we'll have him at the very least. Irizarry, also a new guy, so hopefully he'll stick around. Maybe plug him in at either left field or right field. Lee will be staying. Salgado will be staying. Sato is a free agent. I'm kind of indifferent on him either way. He did work pretty well when we needed him to, but the main wants that I would want in the offseason, maybe another good starter, a corner outfielder, and an infielder. Catcher, again, I wish I could have a better catcher to kind of use with McBride, but catchers are really hard to find. So that said, let's sim to the offseason, see if anybody retired either. Thomas Marquez, 36-year-old, never played in the big leagues. Okay. No inductees for the Hall of Fame. And here we go. We're going to go straight into the offseason. I'm going to make sure everything is kind of set as automatic as well. And then we will switch back to manual as the season progresses. We could rebrand any of the teams if we wanted to as well, but not today. So we're just going to sim to this star day right here, which is the 40-man roster in order. Some news here, the Giraffes signed a closer to a 10-year, $225 million deal. Astronauts also signing some closers. The Ballers are interested in offering you a trade, interdivisional trade. Let's see what they want here. They want Theodore Chung, one of our only lefties, for Matt Muriel. who is a 36-year-old pitcher making $16 million this year. No thanks. I'm going to actually move my face down here. Drafts with another signing. They got a shortstop for another 3 years, a 34-year-old shortstop who is 88 overall. All right, now we're getting into the free agency phase. The Glory signed a center fielder. Ballers signed a left fielder. Grizzlies are offering a trade. Let's see what they want. They want Rich Cabrera for another closer. 19 years old, 74 overall. Oh man, I might have to consider this one. So here is Robinson York. I mean, we are really strong in the bullpen right now, but this guy would immediately, I would say, go into the bullpen. Do we want to give up Cabrera, though, to do it? So Cabrera, I mean, that was his first year in the big leagues. He is going to continue to get better. You know, I think wow, we actually signed Jason Watkins. Oh my God. Yes. I want to use this guy so bad. 99 power versus right-handers? Are you kidding me? Cabrera's going to barely see the field now. I mean, he has no secondary position. I mean, we could plug in Watkins at first base too, or DH, or I don't know, man. We do have quite a bit closers left, so we still have Bauer, Denson. Looks like we might have lost a few other guys, though. I mean, our bullpen's still respectable. I might have to decline this one for now, but it's a very heavy decline. Like, I thought about it. I really considered it. Continuing through the offseason, the Giraffes are making so many moves. They get right fielder Willie Chavez, 29-year-old, 87 overall player. Senators are interested in offering a trade. Reliever for a starter. Let's see how good they are. This guy's a 75 overall, 24-year-old relief pitcher, a good distance relief pitcher, good stamina, lefty. Let's see what pitcher they want. He is all the way down here. All right, yes, I will take this trade. I will take a left-hander in the bullpen, of course. Giraffes again making moves. I'm scared of them next year already. The Phantoms signs starter Benito Valenzuela. All right, so there is one of our new starting pitchers, 85 overall, technically the ace, just one overall point better than Newsom, but he is up there in age, so we'll see what he does with this one-year deal. And that is the off-season. Everything else not newsworthy, I suppose, so we'll go ahead and stop the simulation. Let's get a quick look at what awaits us here in 2053. So Benito Valenzuela, again, somebody we signed at the tail end of the off-season, is our new ace. But let's beat the rest of the roster. Actually, let's go look at the standings and see where we're ranked here. We are ranked 3rd overall. Wow, our GM did us a ton of favors here this offseason. 5th in contact, 4th in pitching, 11th in power, 8th in defense, speed, still about where it was. All right, let's look at the roster. So again, we signed Jason Watkins, who is now our best player, 31-year-old third baseman with absolute mega power. Played with the Oklahoma City Lightning his last few years and has been a 30 home run hitter for the last 4 years. Man, I'm so psyched we signed that guy. Let's get a look at the starters, though. We have Valenzuela, Newsom, Johnson, Reyes, and Gonzalez. Cabrera is going to start the year in AAA, but he is our viable 5th starter. So, again, we signed this guy for 1 year, Valenzuela. I said we wanted at least one more starter to fill out our rotation. The AI GM, I should say, went out and got him. He listened to our pleas and our wishes. And now we have a solid rotation here. Joe Johnson's going to get even better here. B potential, 81 overall. I mean, he won't go all the way up to maybe a 90, but we're going to have 4 guys in the rotation who are each an 80 overall. Maybe Reyes and Valenzuela will drop down a little bit, but Newsom and Johnson won't be going anywhere with their ratings for a while. Relief pitchers, we signed Rob Cook, 36-year-old left-hander, switch hitter. Let's see, he's got a 4-seamer, changeup, cutter, curveball. Good home runs per 9. Not really a strikeout pitcher. Robles, got him last year, so our 2 top relief pitchers are lefties. We also signed, or no, we had Romero last year. He just wasn't really in the rotation for a while. And Vance Nunez, signed him away from Richmond. Closing pitchers, we still have Bauer, Denson, and Chung. Chung's actually gone up a few points overall, so it looks like we lost Lawson and Estrada. But we did pick up a few other lefties, which is good. I will use that as a trade-off. Lawson, he had a great season, but was starting to maybe lose some of his edge overall, and an expiring contract at that. I suppose I could trade away that starting pitcher that I had again here, Ronnie Will, or at least just cut him loose. I mean, again, dude's making $30 million this year. I don't really think that we need him. We'll just release him. Catchers, oh no, we lost McBride. We only have one catcher on the roster. Where did McBride go? And why don't we have a secondary catcher? So I guess we're rocking with Junior Rocker, a 33-year-old catcher who batted 181 last year. Catcher is definitely our new weak point. My goodness. First base, we lost Campillo. Cervantes is still here. We signed 37-year-old Raymond Yu, who is a decent contact hitter himself, I guess. Pretty comparable to Campillo. Been playing with San Francisco for most of his career. Portland, I guess, a little bit too. Windy City. But came away from warm San Francisco to try and win a World Series with the Phantoms, perhaps. Batted .301 last year with 23 home runs. Despite that power level, he can also play right field. Interesting. Second base, we kept William and Navarro. Looks like they're going to split some time here. I, myself, ecstatic to start William 99% of the time. Third base, we have Watkins, and Cabrera will kind of fill in, or at least get some time in AAA, I guess. They sent him right down to AAA, so Watkins. I mean, Cabrera I struggled with a bit. He hit a lot of grounders, but again, you can't knock him. That was his rookie season. I didn't even realize that. I thought he's one of the old dudes. Shortstop, we still have Morcaldi. We signed Steve Reyes, who is a 38-year-old, making $5 million this year. Some decent contact and speed, and some fielding ability too. So a little bit of an upgrade from Casto, I guess, in terms of contact. I'll take that. Left field, we signed Lon Lowe. Great contact, good lefty hitter. Can play anywhere in the outfield. Fielding and speed, though, not great. I mean, he'll be a good corner outfielder. I don't want to stick him at center, though, even though it's his secondary position. So we did go out and get some corner outfielders. Cordova will be the backup for now, maybe a lefty platoon hitter, although Lowe can hit lefties really well as well. Taylor's still in center. Irizarry's going to start the year in AAA. That's understandable. Right field, we wavered, optioned Thomas Ramirez, who we just signed. 33-year-old with only 1 year of MLB service. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that guy being in AAA. Salgado's still up. So I'm kind of interested to see what our lineup looks like. First, let's look at the rotation, though. Starting pitching, solid. Absolutely solid. Bullpen, we still got Crowder in the long reliever role. Got a few more lefties. Chung, they upgraded all the way up to setup guy. Robles and Cook, I mean, they're going to be two great guys to have in the middle relief role, especially for lefties. We did kind of go down a bit with right-handed pitchers, like I mentioned, but I'll take that with a few more lefty options in the bullpen. Nunez, decent. Romero, great strikeout pitcher. So I'm okay with our bullpen, all things considered. Let's look at AAA, though, to see what's in the works. A lot of guys at 72 overall. Cabrera's the 4-starter. We also have Esteban Santo, who's working his way up. Low velocity, low walks per 9, low homers per 9, but somehow still a good strikeout pitcher. So yeah, barring a bunch of complete meltdowns in the bullpen, I don't think anybody from AAA is going to be called up. Maybe Montgomery, but again, another lefty option here. And for the lineups, let's see what they got. They have Reyes at shortstop leading off with his 70 contact. Raymond Yu batting second. He's a great contact hitter as well. Good vision. Patrick William, they plugged in at second base against lefties. Love it. He's actually a little bit better than Raymond Yu in contact even, but the power, so I might flip-flop these two just to get a little bit more pop in the 3-hole. We'll see about that. Watkins, absolutely love him and his power in the cleanup spot. They demoted Cervantes all the way down to 7, although again, this is against righties. Cervantes not great against righties. Taylor batting 5th, low. Wow, this is going to be a very solid lineup. Just the main question marks, I guess, are right field and catcher. Catcher especially, my God. So we'll give Salgado another year. He was a rookie as well. Salgado, Cabrera were both rookies last year. And those were the guys who just hit into a lot of double plays and stuff. Maybe as they get more practice, they'll get a little bit more pop in the bat, a little bit more contact. They're already solid fielders, no doubt. I'm just shocked that we don't have a backup catcher, so I might have to maybe make a manual move just to get a second catcher on the roster, because having Rocker as the only catcher on the roster is not going to be good. We'll probably call down Casto and send up a catcher in his place, but other than that, lineup is pretty set. Cordova is your extra outfielder, can also play first base. Morcaldi can play anywhere. I'm glad to see that we still have him. Navarro, I mean, might be trade bait later in the year, but I mean, decent kind of speed off the bench, I suppose. I'm going to get a look at the catchers again. So we have Dalton out there in AAA. Hasn't used any of his minor league options though, which is weird. Dalton, as you might remember, we called up for a couple games, or had him up for a few games with an injury. Got his first major league hit, and then we immediately sent him back down. I want to give him another opportunity. Come on. I do want to see, though, where some of our old names turned up. So McBride, for example, he went to the Motor City Mustangs, our bitter rival who keeps knocking us out of the playoffs, to be a backup to Hinojo. Again, the Mustangs were the team that kept beating us in simulated play leading up to 2052. So this is just kind of funny to me how, like, he could have been a starter with us and decided to become a backup in somewhere else. And we'll see where Lawson ended up. He is with the Alaska Avalanche now. Again, he spent most of his career with Salem, not his entire career. We had him as our closer for a while, demoted him back to like the middle relief role, kind of to end the regular season, so maybe he didn't take too kindly to that. I wouldn't know. He had a great season. But yeah, just a bit too expensive for our taste too, especially with our solid bullpen as it is, $6 million this year to play for Alaska. There's some good catcher free agents we could sign as well. Jonathan James, 78 overall. We'll keep an eye on Jonathan James, maybe just see if we, we could give Dalton a chance, but we do need a second catcher. I'll assess that later once we actually start season number 2. But yeah, the GM making some moves here. We still have a really tough division. The Beavers are still ranked 5th overall. They've gone all the way up to 1st in pitching. And the team to beat in the next season is in the National League. The Flyers are 2nd, Tides 16th, so they took a step down after their World Series run. The Stars, Los Angeles Stars, are back to being the first top-ranked team. They were to begin last season as well, so we'll keep some eye out for that. But that will do it for the 2052 season. Some great signings here by the Phantoms assistant AIGM during the offseason. Again, I had no control over any of these signings. I'm glad that we signed the third baseman that we did. We may just have to make a few moves like we did just for logistics. Last year we needed a lot of lefty pitchers in the bullpen. This year we need a second catcher at the very least, but I will take care of that once we start season number 2. I'll keep you updated on my Twitter account for when the Phantoms will return, but likely it will be a few week break at least before we start season 2, or I might start my Men franchise, haven't quite decided yet. Thank you so much for sticking around this entire season of the Salem Phantoms franchise. I hope to see you back here soon with season 2, but signing off for now, this is Kasabe.